in your Twitter bio, you say you're a super physics student, pro slut, model, bimbo, curvy, adventurer, foodie, bookworm, and fiend, exotic dancer, adult entertainer, and assistant in the plastic surgery office.
Yeah, that's why I didn't remember it, because it's a lot of things in a row.
Let's start with pro slut.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm just really good at it. At being just living the
what does that mean?
I feel like to be a slut is it's a term that comes out of society for someone who is obviously just a little bit more promiscuous, but I feel like sluts have a lot of fun and we get a bad rap about that. So pro slut.
Oh, so sluts get a bad rap.
Yeah. I'm an ethical slut.
What is that?
It means that, for example, like if I'm not going to like hit on you if you are in a relationship. I'm not going to try to get with your partner or anything like that unless you guys both consent. I'm like really into consent. I'm really into, we can have fun, but people have boundaries and I respect those boundaries. Ethically.
I thought that meant like carbon neutral semen or something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My carbon footprint.
Organic semen only. Grain fed. Okay, cool. I've learned something.
So when you say slut, what do you mean?
I would say slut is just a term meaning a girl who's more promiscuous. It's more of a modern day slang term for promiscuous, I would say.
Sure. Okay. All right. And so you're in favor of promiscuity?
I'm in favor of people doing whatever the fuck they want, as long as it's not hurting physically or mentally abusing others.
Do you think that hookup culture is a good thing or a bad thing?
I feel like it is a bad thing if it's done the wrong way.
How so?
I feel like people go into something wanting, like, for example, someone is looking for a relationship, another person is looking just to smash, and the person that's looking for a relationship gets hurt. But if the person is, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship, I just want to smash, do you consent to just doing that? Then I feel like people get less hurt. I think hookup culture it's kind of like lying. It's trying to get into somebody's pants without being forward that that's all you want from them.
Okay. And so hookup culture bad, but with caveats. Is that your position, kind of?
Yeah.
Or? Okay. So, I mean, what's the difference between promiscuity and hookup culture?
That is a very good question. I would say promiscuity is having a very large sex drive and that you want to, smash. And hookup culture is just going out there, not really giving a crap about the other person in front of you and just taking what you need from somebody. And I feel like that's the difference. You're not giving that person the ability to bow out of that situation. They're thinking they're getting something like a relationship or like a first date that's going to maybe go into something else, but that person is only doing that thing to get to a final end. Does that make sense? Brian's like, no. He's got all of the wheels turning.
Okay. Well, I'll get more into that a bit later, but I do want to get into your notes here. So you said you've had some wild experiences on dating apps and at events, including navigating polydynamics through the dating app, meeting people in the adult entertainment world. When you were in your early 20s, you were dating a 60-year-old lawyer in town. He had a wife you didn't know about, and craziness ensued, like things being stolen, propane tanks being thrown through windows, pepper spray, etc. So why don't you tell us the story?
Wow, you really did research. Okay, I was 19 years old. I was working at my friend's Chinese restaurant, and this guy comes in and he was getting his Corvette washed across the street, and I obviously, take his order and stuff like that. He thinks I'm cute. He gives me his number, and he originally gave me his number to offer me a job. And I was like, cool, like I'm in school, I'd love to make more money than just being a waitress. So he ended up owning a casino building, not like a big casino, but a small like casino. And when he realized that I wasn't 21, he's like, oh, well, I can't give you a job, but he even wanted other things. So I didn't know this at the time. I was just, a little lady. So I kind of went over to his casino. He had a bar down there. I played some games with him, and then I kicked his butt at air hockey, and he wanted to take me on a shopping spree. So I went to San Francisco. So fast forward all the boring stuff. That's how we met.
Could we do that, please?
Yes. A little bit of background. But so he ended up having a wife I had no idea about. We were in I was with my brother on New Year's, and I got this crazy text of this girl basically cussing me out, saying that she was his wife, all this stuff. I message him and I say, what is this person messaging me? Like, you never told me you were married. There was no pictures or anything at his house. There was no women's clothing, jewelry, anything. Like, his house didn't have any female presence in it whatsoever. He told me they were separated, and I was like, okay. So he was still married, but he didn't let me know. Well, things got a little crazier because he offered to have me come to his guest house. He said that his separated wife was staying at the main house right now because she was in between traveling. And so he invited me over, and I did. Well, she saw us through the window and lost her mind. She pushed open the door. At this point, he is like removing all my stuff, like trying to hide my presence, which I was like, what the fuck? He threw me out the window in the snow. So I had like shoes, a dress, and that's it. And he was like, run. And I was like, run in the woods in the snow at like 11 o'clock at night. I was like, I went up across the side of the building. Well, she knocks the door down, and then I just hear screaming. So I guess what happened was she pepper sprayed him. And it was very loud and scary sounding. I thought she stabbed him like multiple times, but it was pepper spray.
And this is the 60-plus-year-old lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long were you dating him for?
I think at that point, like 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 19.
19? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So pretty significant age gap there.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It just kind of happens. I was expecting like getting a job out of it, and it kind of turned into more. But I mean, I wasn't very smart back then. Like, I've been through some stuff now, so I would definitely see that coming. But yeah, that was not good. And she was scary. She like stuck her head out.
Was it like a typical like sugar relationship? Like he'd pay for all your shit and
no,
things like that?
I honestly wish it was. It was so much more drama than it was worth.